Welcome to Raw Japan TV. Punch, punch, punch. Your season 11. Oh, but I'm not the guest here. I should be clapping for you. Hi. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Raw Japan TV season 11 with Hiroko Yamaguchi. Hello, Hiroko-san.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Can you give us some background about where we are?
Oh, we are at my house,
Oh.
which is also my English class.
Okay. This is an English school.
Kind of school.
Okay. What is the name of your school?
It's called Chipper English.
Chipper English. Could you give us the meaning behind this name?
Okay, Chipper is, I just put the English word, but originally it was from Chipuru, which stands for Children's Playroom,
Wow.
which I was doing a kind of mom and baby circle, like a group, when my kids were small. So that was not an English class, it's just a group.
Got you.
So it came from that Jiburu, from children's playing room. Yes, yes.
Wow. And so, we'll get into that. But when did you first start accepting families and their kids? Like, when did Chipper English first begin? You said it was a children's playroom.
Yeah.
How many years ago did you first start this?
That was like 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yes, when my oldest son was 1.5, maybe.
Okay.
Yes.
Here in this exact.
No. We lived in Tokyo.
Okay.
Yes.
So, were you born in Tokyo?
No, I'm originally from Kyushu, but my husband was like transferred all the time. So everywhere I went, I couldn't work because every 3 years he was transferred.
Wow.
So to make friends, I started the group with the people there. And it was really kind of popular.
Okay.
Yeah, and I could kill my time. Like, no, have my career. Yes, and make friends.
And then that just blossomed into your own school kind of thing.
Actually, yeah, the experience did. But after we moved back, I worked at the university. So, and did translation jobs.
What university?
Oh, I mean the Kyushu University.
Oh,
yes,
Kyushu,
yes,
right
yes.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a very popular school.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I started working there, but then I never taught actually. I just had a group. But then my kids, they were elementary school, and while I was working in summer vacations, they were just sleeping at home.
Oh.
So I got worried. So I thought maybe I should stay home. And that's when I started my English class.
Okay.
Yes, with 2 or 3 kids.
So your kids are at home. You want to be with them.
Yeah.
That's one reason, right? But you also have the skill of teaching or speaking English. So
Yes.
where did that come about? How did you learn English, and where did you first encounter English?
My father was a doctor. He was like doing a research about cancer in the university.
Oh.
So he was sent to America when I was in the first grade, second grade, first grade, yes. So the whole family moved to America, New York. Yes. And of course, it was like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was really rare. There weren't so many Japanese people. So I was just put into the local school and said, from today, you're going there. And there were no Japanese speaking students, of course, no
Wow.
teachers.
So just to clarify, how old are you
I
at
was
this point?
6 years old.
6 years old.
Yes.
And you're just thrown literally
literally.
into an elementary school.
Yes.
And learn English, go.
No, it's not like learn English. You just go and learn in the elementary school.
Got you.
Yes, and at that time there were no Japanese school in that area.
That must be shocking to a young child, right? Like a new environment.
But just a child, you just okay. So we have to go there. Adapt, yes. Yeah, but I think it was a very good age, like the time in America, like maybe, I don't know, compared to now, people were more open. I don't know, in America,
Interesting.
is it?
Well,
But
it's also New York. So New York's
yeah.
a little bit different than other cities in the
Ah,
US.
okay. But it was in the suburb of New York.
Ah, okay.
And they were really friendly. And they accepted as we were. They helped us a lot. And in the school, I was not treated really special. I was
Oh,
just
it's just
treated
one
as
of
just
the
one
other.
student,
Oh,
but
wow.
just came from Japan. And I really appreciated that and could make a lot of friends.
Okay.
And it's interesting that I thought that I could start speaking pretty soon after we went there. But my mother told me that I didn't speak for a year
Oh,
at school.
you were
I was just really silent.
and just taking everything in.
Yeah, taking everything in and then started to talk. And once we started to talk, I was, talking with my brother in English. So I think I was 6 years old, 7 years old was a very good time.
So, were you there for how long were you in New York?
A year and 8 months.
A year and 8 months. And then you come back to Japan and you spend basically the rest of your days in Japan, around Japan. But that's mind blowing to me because, right, your English is very good,
Oh,
but you only spent less than 2 years
yes.
around native speakers.
Around native speakers, yes.
And you still were able to retain a high level of English, even though you teach and stuff. I'm sure it's easy for a lot of people to revert to like, you know, bad accents or grammar. How did you maintain your English level?
No, my mother was pretty enthusiastic about maintaining my English. So sometimes she found English speaker, like native speaker in where we lived, which was in Kagoshima.
Okay.
So we didn't have much native speakers at that
Oh.
time, like 40 years ago.
You're originally from Kagoshima.
Yes, I'm originally from Kagoshima. Yes. So, but she found some foreigners living there, and suddenly she said like, "Let's go to their house," and now you speak English.
Very New York style. Let's go. Yeah, check them out.
So I had that sometimes, like
Wow.
not frequently. It wasn't an English lesson, but just to keep
Yeah, the environment.
the environment. Yes, and also the good thing was I'm the record generation.
One more?
I mean the record
Record generation.
generation. I mean, like we didn't have these devices.
Oh, the
Like
records, eh?
records, yes,
Ah,
the music,
I
the
got you.
records. So the only way to listen to English was the records, and you don't have the picture, so you really have to listen. And I had these lots of records, like for English stories, which was from Disney or something. So instead of watching the video, I was always sitting in front of the record player,
Just listening.
just listening, and that was really, I really liked that time.
Yeah.
So
You have to focus on the words, how they're pronouncing the words, the stress.
yes. So I think the kids right now, they are blessed for these, they can look into the YouTube and they can listen to real English. But on the other hand, they have the picture and they get a lot distracted.
Ah, that's right.
Yes. So maybe my generation was better just to like focus
just
on
the
what you
words.
hear. Yes, just the words.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think that was really helpful.
nice. I mean, I think that's very difficult. Even just having those occasional times, going to foreigners' houses and maybe listening to records, I still think that's impressive that you were able. It seems like you speak to a native speaker every day.
Oh, so. そう。あ、でもね。
謙遜ですね。
No, no, no. It's really hard. Yeah. でも、I like to put myself
In the
into a pressure. So after
You like to
like
challenge yourself, you mean?
challenge myself, yes, to
Okay.
improve something, improve language, you have to be forced into that environment.
Yeah. Yes.
So, like taking the university job was, I had to do some translations. I was not confident, but thought like just do it. And then they hired, so I
Hey.
put myself in that environment.
Mm.
And then you have to do something. You
Yeah.
have to study.
You light the fire under your. So this is, but this trait, this character trait, do you think you developed that from being in New York? Or was it just, something that you were born with? Maybe you got it from your mom or your dad? Can you
That's
teach this? Is it a skill?
maybe it came from the experience. Like, yeah, in New York, you were just put into the environment, and I could adapt. And that's kind of like the experience of success. I mean, like, every child has to have the experience of I tried and I did it. And I feel like the Japanese kids don't have that experience so
That's
much.
why they can't build confidence.
Yes, like challenging something and you could do it. And then you develop that confidence and then try a little higher. Yes.
Can you speak to that more? Like, why do you think Japanese kids don't have that opportunity?
難しいね。
That's huge, right? If you don't get that early confidence, then you're not going to take risks later in life.
本当ね。
Yeah. What do you think? Where does that come from?
I think one thing I feel that they are just judged by the scores in school.
Hey.
Every year, end of the school year, I let my students write a presentation, which is really difficult for them in their English level.
Presentations.
Yes, some kids start from fourth graders, but I let them choose a topic. I don't say anything. I just give advice and they try to make it into a presentation. But some kids who are not really good in English class, they bring some brilliant topics. It's really interesting. And that's the time when I figure out, oh, this kid really likes this. Oh, this kid is, talented in this. So I feel that they don't have the opportunity that when their talent is recognized by the adults because they're always at school and the score matters. But some kids really, it's
they have a lot to express, right?
yes, and the way they see is really interesting. And even though their scholar is not so good in school, I really feel that they will succeed in the future and if they grow that part. And I want them to combine that with English.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we're getting into some juicy stuff because this is no, because this is huge, right? In Japan, risk avoidance and stuff like that. But I think okay, no, that's a whole nother topic. So we'll save that for later down. I really want to get Hi. First, I want to ask a little bit more about you. I'm looking at my phone for the questions. This is all in Japanese, but you speak English, so I can relax. I don't have to add subtitles or any of that stuff. Ooh, thank you, Hiroko-san. Hi. So you're originally from Kagoshima, but you've lived a long time in Itoshima. Or no? How long have you lived in Itoshima?
長くないけど it's about 15, 16 years.
Okay. まあまあ。
まあまあね。
15 years. Okay.
Considering my age, it's not.
まあ、そっか。
はい。
それは何とも言えないけどね。15 years. So, okay. Well, how do you think Itoshima has changed since you've been here? Yeah.
When I came, so there weren't a lot of new houses, of course.
There's a lot
Yes, there's a lot around this area. We had more rice paddies, but they have turned it into housings. And there were not tourists at that time. There were like really local stores, local restaurants. But now, if you go to the seaside, you can see a lot of fancy cafes, fancy shops, which we did not have.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, so everywhere you go, you can just, without any traffic jam and without, there weren't any parking lots, but you can park anywhere and like
Wow.
enjoy.
Now everything is coin parking.
そうだね。ね、you have to pay.
Oh.
Yes.
So why? Why do you think Itoshima has become this popular place? What was the biggest change or things that you've noticed that have started to bring appeal to Itoshima?
そう
What
ね。
makes Itoshima appealing?
Well, the first thing is convenience. It's
Oh.
like really close to the city. You just drive 30, 40 minutes and you can see the beach, beautiful beach. And you can buy fresh vegetables, fish, meat, and そうね. And the mountains we have. So it's really convenient
Okay.
to
So
spend the day.
a mix of convenience and nature
Nature
and good food.
and good food.
You
of
need good
course.
food.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But Kagoshima has some good food too, right?
I was a kid, so I wasn't cooking.
Yeah. What is it? Akagyu nansake. It's like red beef or something in Kagoshima.
Kurobuta,
Oh, black
pork.
pork. だったね. Maybe Kumamoto is akagyu ka. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so so you explained to us a little bit about how you got into the English teaching world. You know, I was going to ask you a question about how we can keep Itoshima culture going and, tayasanai tame toka. But I think it's better if we make that question more about English teaching. And so I'm interested to know, you described something about, giving your students an opportunity to express themselves through presentations, right? So how can you, or how are you trying to change the way English education is done in Japan? Can you break it down for us? Like,
That's a big.
yeah, how
I'm not trying to change the education.
how are you trying to destroy the English?
That's very difficult because
Hi.
I've been doing volunteer work in elementary schools.
Okay.
I've been
So
teaching.
you're both inside institution and your own private.
But then, yeah, when I first started, I thought I could change something, but it's
difficult.
difficult.
Why? Why is it difficult to change it from the inside out?
Because teachers don't have a say. The principals and the board of education is controlling everything. They can't, the homeroom teachers, of course, they know the situation, and I think they want more help from the local people who speak English, or need more assistance.
In what way?
In what way? Because they're not trained to teach English. They need more professional to support them. And of course, they have basic English ability, but they don't know how to teach English. So I think they need more support from the professionals, but the school just don't admit that because they don't want people outside to come into the elementary school.
Is that for safety reasons or why?
Maybe safety or for like claims from the parents, maybe complaints people have not, they don't know who's teaching in school. That's kind of like they feel.
But that doesn't make any sense to me because even if you have a trained teacher, but you know that those teachers don't know how to speak or teach English, but then a professional comes, why would you be complaining about someone that is better at the teacher's job, right? Yeah.
So, I think the parents do not understand the difference between professional and the homeroom teacher's English ability. Is because we're not exposed to real English in Japan. We turn on the TV, there's no English. There's just only English lessons sometimes, but you never hear English on TV. So I think the parents, they don't know the difference, yeah, between like real English speaker and the teacher, like school English. It's really different.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. You made me remember my time in Sweden. Scandinavians speak really good English, and I spent time studying abroad there. But they told me the way they learn English is literally listening to English on through movies, TV, music. Nothing is subtitled or what is the other one? Dubbed, right? So it's only American movies are shipped that way. English movies are shipped that way. But in Japan, like you said, everything is changed to Japanese or subtitled. So this is going a little bit deeper. How do you think we can change? Oh no. How do you think Japanese parents can get more exposure to native English without changing the whole system? Something they can do more, on a personal basis.
It's very difficult to expect to the parents, I think. Yes.
really?
I think so.
Okay.
But I think the first step we can do for the students is to have an audio on the English textbook in school,
Okay.
because they don't have any like CDs or download link in their English textbooks.
Gotcha.
So even though they have their textbook, they don't, really have the time to speak and to listen to English.
That's right. Only during the class they play the TV sometimes, but not at home.
Not at home. So I noticed that some junior high school kids, if they start English from junior high school, they can answer the question like writing, but then they forget after a month or so. I think that's because it's not linked with the sound.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, especially from you, from the background of listening to records, like just sitting there listening over and over. It's an important way to develop your skill.
Yeah. And I feel sorry for them. Like
Yeah.
they're trying to learn from their eyes, but they're not using their, hearing.
That's why a lot of adult Japanese people say they can read and understand, but they can't speak.
They can't speak.
Yeah.
And they
Or can't
forget
listen, yeah.
easily.
That's an easy step. That's an easy
It's
step.
an easy step, yes.
Yeah.
Just put the download link for the audio,
Okay.
for the textbook.
Yeah, let's call Tojo Sensei. Hold on.
That is it.
Oh,
But yeah, but
school board, ne?
School board, yes, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, actually, I might email him. I might email him this interview. Yeah, yes. Tojo Sensei. Hi.
So, audio. Ne?
Okay.
And of course, maybe for the parents, yes, if the news, there's like some news only in English, that will help, I think. Of course, if you change the
NHK?
Yes, NHK, if you change the sound, like the sub and main, you can listen to English news. But you have to change the channel.
So it's too difficult. It's like
It's
extra
trouble-
steps.
Yeah, extra step. Yeah, they will choose the easier way.
As humans.
So so like having some English program or English channel, I think that will change a lot.
So interesting. Yeah. Maybe you could pitch like a English, Itoshima English, I don't know, daily news or something. Yeah, kochi. Maybe the school board will pay you a little bit for this.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, thank you. That was, yeah. Man, there's just so much to talk about that topic. So, from starting as an English teacher, before you started, 20 years ago?
No.
Huh?
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
I mean, like teaching English?
Oh, that's right, because you first started just with families and their babies.
Yeah, that was just
That was just taking
Play
care
group.
of. Got you. I know. So 10 years of teaching English. kids and adults, right? So, what changed within yourself
Within myself,
before teaching English and then now? What's different?
I'm learning grammar.
Okay, your English is better. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, yes, because I never learned grammar during my student years because I could speak English, so I didn't have to, yeah, focus on grammar. But now I have to teach, so I'm learning.
Oh, that's so interesting. You had an inherent understanding of the structures, but to teach it, you have to know like the phrases and right. Got
そう
you.
ね。And なんだろうな。Actually, teaching English is, I think, I'm helping more, like teaching them how to study, like having the habit of studying. And also, I feel that I'm giving their future vision, like what they can
yeah.
do using English.
That's so important.
Yes, I don't tell them to be a translator, or I also always tell them that if there will be an opportunity when you go out in the world to speak English, so one day you will like be actually using.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's useful.
It's useful. Yeah, it will like make your life rich.
Yes.
Yes, of course, like meeting a lot of people and of course job opportunity. And also the thing I really appreciate that my parents took me to America is that I can see the world more without, henken,
Stereotypes.
stereotypes. Like I can think in a Japanese way, but then I can stand on the
other
other
side.
culture. Yeah, I do understand there are other ways of seeing things. So I naturally can like yeah, I can admit like
Okay.
he has a different opinion. He has different way of thinking. So try not to judge.
So this for someone that lived abroad, maybe this is like a natural to understand, right? You can see different parts of the world, you can understand different opinions, but for someone that grew up in the countryside of Japan, like maybe some of your students, and then kids that are just, oh, I want to play YouTube or no, watch YouTube, play YouTube. I want to watch YouTube, play games. I don't care. What does it matter? How do you break that down? Because it's easy to say that, you can do all these things, but I'm sure they have walls, right? So usually, how do students come to you? What do they want to do with their English? Or what are the different blocks they have, emotional blocks about learning English? Maybe their parents signed them up
Yeah.
to get better at the test,
There is
right?
students like that.
So what are the most common emotional blocks you get in students?
でも I don't get that much blocks.
Really?
Yes.
Everyone's enthusiastic. Let's go.
Ah,
Chipper.
yeah, playing games, It's having fun, teasing the teacher. Yes. Yeah, I think all the students like to come.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't hear them complain,
Oh.
and I don't hear from the parents that their children don't want to come.
Okay.
Well, there are a couple students like they feel a little difficult because I try to put them into English speaking environment. So I don't teach them step by step. Like I don't really describe the grammar because they won't understand.
Yeah, no one.
So sometimes when they start English, they were like me, I was forced to put into the English environment.
You're drowning them in
Drowning.
English.
Yes. Yeah. So sometimes there's this phase that they don't want to come. And the parents ask me, what shall we do? But once they get over that, they know that that's the experience of success. They've overcome. And then they they have no problem coming.
motivated.
They're motivated. Yes.
Oh wow! So you try early to create those moments of success for your students, so that they're
But I don't think I'm doing it like really consciously.
not deliberately. You're just that good. It's
No,
unconscious.
no, no, it's like raising my kids.
Okay.
It's the same, like a mother.
Okay. So what about adult students? For your, uh, first of all, can you explain more about your adult students? Like, what type of class is that?
I only have beginners class for in the morning, and most of them are from my age to like 70s.
Oh, okay.
So they really like English. So they just need an opportunity to use English.
But that's pretty surprising because I think a lot of people would expect older Japanese to be more, like Japan. Oh, we don't need English. But that's not the case.
No, 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 no.
They're more open than.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think they just want to come because they can see the friends.
Oh,
And sometimes they just, they dress up a little bit than
Okay.
usual.
Going out.
Going out, yes,
Hey.
and meeting friends and talking about whatever, like husband or the problem in the house. It's just in English.
But hey, you can, I mean, if anything's going to be useful, right? Yeah, that's
Their
things
life.
that, yeah.
Yes, that's what.
Not about, I have a pen.
No, 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 no. I don't use textbooks. Yes.
Wow. Okay, so those adult students, what is their first motive when they come to you? Do they say, I want to be able to do this? I want to go traveling? Like,
Yeah, they're mostly they want to use when they travel. Yes, they want to speak English fluently when they travel. But it's very difficult because you don't know when they're going to travel, especially
Exactly.
this season. But so it's very difficult to motivate them all the time. でも, what was I going to say? 忘れちゃった.
to motivate them, but you say they like to come to the group and like, it's like a party for them. So do they like, do they lack motivation at times? Like, I mean, I think the last time I was here, there are a lot of students that have been here for years, right? That have been coming to your class that have been customers of yours for years. Do they need motivation, or is it?
I think coming here and seeing the friends is the motivation, biggest motivation. For the most difficult part is that not to let them go into Japanese conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want to speak more.
But they're limited, right?
Yes, so I have to control it. Stop. So no Japanese. And the timing is very difficult because they're older.
Yeah,
I have to respect them.
Please stop, please.
Or I just give a sign.
Yeah, why are you here? It's English guy.
Yes. So I don't feel like I'm an English teacher.
With the adults. So, I got you. It's just like hanging out with your customers, friends.
Controlling. Yeah. No Japanese here,
Gotcha.
or like giving more topic, like guiding them to, like there's some quiet students, so I just guide them to let them speak.
I like that. It's more natural. Natural conversation. So they just go. They just start when they come. Wow.
So
But now, right, gathering is kind of difficult. So how does it work in the pandemic for adult classes? Do you still meet, or how does that work?
we did online lessons too. Yes, but of course it's very difficult for them sometimes, more than children, like using the device. Yeah, but I taught them how to use Zoom and also like Line meeting.
Ooh.
So especially in spring, it was more everybody had to stay at home strictly. So I used online teaching, line chatting for only.
That's impressive. You have to emphasize that more because adult students, right? Garake.
ガラケー少
Or they have
Yeah,
smartphones.
they have smartphones. Yes,
Ooh,
yes.
That's surprising.
But it's once they learn,
They know.
they know,
Okay.
and they feel more like I can
Yeah.
use this.
I
I'm
can use
younger.
Zoom.
So, yes.
Hi.
So we had the meeting, and it's very important for them to have a chance to talk because they're always stuck at home with their husbands. They're not
Ah, that's
working.
right.
Yeah, they're like most of them are retired age, and
Okay.
they're stuck with their husband. They don't have the opportunity to move their muscle.
Yeah. Because the husband doesn't talk? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So
So this is an opportunity for them to not even just learn English, but
no,
to
yes,
express
like,
themselves.
To express themselves.
Whoa,
Yes.
that goes deep.
Yeah, but they always say it's like we're learning English to prevent dementia.
Yeah.
It's also bokeboshi ne.
Yeah. But that's huge, right? Because
It is huge.
Japan
But
has
I
an
don't-
aging.
Yes, I don't expect them to improve.
Yeah.
Not saying in a bad way, but
It's like you just take their money and they just come.
ごめんなさい。
これ録音して
違う
録音して
ごめんね、ごめんね、違うよ。違う。So,
Yeah.
maintaining
Yes.
English is very important
Yeah.
at their age.
No.
They don't have tests or anything.
Yeah, where they're gonna. I mean, obviously, if they travel, if they're able to have a conversation, that's enough.
Yes, that's
It doesn't have to be perfect for the test or
yes,
like. what you're saying.
so. And giving them confidence.
いいね. Yeah. So because there's some Japanese people watching this as well, if they wanted to join your class, how does that work? What would they do? How would they go about that?
Just contact me. Find Chipper English on Facebook page.
Okay, we'll post those links. And you have a website or something?
I do have a Facebook public
Hey,
page.
いいね。自慢しよう。
自慢
はい。
そうだね。
はい。ね。
でもね、ごめんね、ノーメンね。
No men, only women.
I'm
But
sorry,
actually,
yes.
most of
Because-
it's mostly older women in my group. So
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just because they're gonna feel uncomfortable talking about their husbands if there's a male.
yeah, they get offended too easily, you know.
So.
Okay. That's good, but most of my group is older women, so that's perfect. All right, so yeah, I think I want to get into the last few questions and then pose a question for you to ask our members.
Okay.
So if you have any questions about Westerners or English learning, or maybe how Westerners learn Japanese, but that will be the last question. Before that, I want you to give some insight in your feelings about what do you want foreigners, not just Westerners, but foreigners to experience when they come to Itoshima and Japan.
難しいね。難しいね。難しいな。でも、I know many Japanese people are interested in speaking English, I think. It's just that they're a little bit shy. And they even, although they see foreigners or tourists in Itoshima, they want to speak, but they hesitate. And the opportunity just walks by.
Yeah.
So if there's a chance, I want the tourists to talk to the local people.
Okay.
Yes, because I think
In English.
in English or try in Japanese, whatever language.
Okay.
Yes.
But just communication.
Communication, yes. And I think once they are like spoken to, they try to answer because I think that's Japanese people.
Yeah.
If they're asked, they really want to try and help.
But they don't make the first move.
They don't make the first move. Yes. And I always hear from my students that I saw a foreigner, but I couldn't talk to them because I was
Oh.
so afraid, or like I was not sure if they speak English or like
yeah. Well,
maybe
that's
they will I will offend them like talking in English.
that's a good point though, because not all foreigners speak English.
Yes, yes.
But I want to know more about that fear. What are the students? What are they afraid of?
Making mistakes, I guess. Yes. Or like disturbing somebody.
I see. So that's probably not going to change in the near future. So for tourists should make the first move. Is what you think?
Yes, please. Yeah, if there's any questions, like just please.
What in what way? So let's say I'm a tourist. I don't need help with directions or anything like that. What is what's I'm walking on the street in Maebaru. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. What is something that I should say to a stranger? But I don't need help, particularly with anything.
But if there's any like thing you want to know about the culture, like if you see some interesting sign, interesting thing, and if you want to know about it, just ask to the local people.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah, what is this? これ何みたいな。
So you think most Japanese people enjoy that?
I think so. If it's not, I'm sorry.
No, I mean I've met a lot of Japanese people that say the same. That I don't know what to say or I'm scared. Yeah, it's mistakes. It's mistakes. They don't want to make mistakes.
Yes. Or maybe like students, maybe they will enjoy more having people speaking English.
Students, as in.
Like junior high, high school, or elementary school kids. Yes. Now they have English lessons at school, and yeah, I think they'll be happy to at least say hello or like, what's your name, or those kind of very basic English.
Interesting. So I think this might be a big cultural difference, but in the US, if an adult was speaking to kids, right? It's kind of weird, but in Japan,
yes, take
okay.
that advantage. Yes.
Hey, like if they're at the convenience store, what are you eating, みたいな?
大丈夫と思う. I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, you got the clearance from
Yes.
Hiroko-san. Yes, the pass. You got the pass.
ごめんね. I'm sorry if that's not true.
So, what do you want when those visitors go back to their home country? How do you want them to implement this in their daily lives? Like something they learned in Japan. So, you want them to communicate more with locals. What do you want them to take away going back to their home country? Something that maybe they could learn from those conversations.
From the conversations.
Maybe not something specific, but something more like overall, like, go back, being more open with your own family and strangers in your own town. とか. Is there something that you want them to learn through Japanese culture?
Through Japanese culture.
And then take that back home for their daily life?
難しいね。
そういうのが好きなので。
なんだ。どうだろう。I don't. Maybe it's a little different from what we are asking, but I want. わかんないな。There are, Japanese people are shy, and sometimes, some people say that we don't respect like individual rights or like
it's more about the group.
But in a way, it's a good thing. That's why we have really peaceful society. It's really very safe. So I hope that the tourists from other country can learn a little part of that culture and bring back, like respecting the group. Like some people say it's a bad thing. It's not like modern thing. But I think that's very the Japanese, the good point of Japan.
Okay.
Yes.
Respecting, in a practical way, what does that look like in daily life? Like some, for example, one example I can think of is um, lining up, queuing up. In Japan, people are very, respectful about that. No one's, not many people are trying to cut or skip or something. That's a very easy one. But is there something specific that you think, because you lived in New York, right? So maybe, I don't know if you remember, but, what is, New York is a whole nother monster, right? But what is something people can do that you see in Japan about, respecting the group that they can do maybe in the US?
難しいけど right now like just like everybody wearing the mask it's like that's not of course it's for yourself but it's of course it's I think most of the people think that it's for the group for the society and they think it very naturally and also like not throwing away trash when while they're walking on the streets I think we still have that culture not putting the trash outside. Yeah, you take it home. Even though you eat outside, you take it home and throw it away at home. And I think that's a respect for the group, respect for the society.
Thank you. Those are two practical things people can do. I mean, mask wearing is so easy, right? And then the trash is a big one, but in Japan, no trash cans. So,
no trash can, yeah.
but in the US, there are trash cans outside, right? So, why do you think people avoid throwing trash in the trash can and throwing it on the floor or the street? What when there's trash cans, they can put in. Like, why do you think they avoid that?
I was brought up with this word sentence to make the place cleaner when you leave.
What is that? I remember. I think I remember.
何だっけ
鳥
鳥も美しく
そうですね。そうですね。
So even when you arrive at a place and there's garbage, you pick up and take it home. So the place is prettier than before. That's what I don't know now.
Most Japanese people?
I think most Japanese people know that word
Damn.
and try to practice that, at least my generation.
Okay. I think we need to put you on a billboard in the US with this quote here. Hi. Okay, thank you. So there are a few questions from a member in the group. And, I think we answered some of these questions, but I'm going to pose you some of these questions. And then at the end, if you have any questions for foreigners or Westerners, English speakers, please go ahead. But first, we'll get into these member questions. Shitsumon corner, question corner. Pacha pacha wee. Hi. So these are from Daniel from New Jersey. Hi. We went into what made you decide to become a teacher? Since you'll be running your own teaching business, what's the process like to be able to run your own teaching business in Japan? Oh. And do you teach yourself that children school? Why do you make okay. So this one's kind of interesting. Yeah, since you're running your own teaching business, what's the process of running your own school in Japan? How does it compare to maybe being like a freelance English teacher where you just meet up somewhere or something like that? Or because this is a registered business, right?
Yes.
So how does it compare to being a teacher in school? And what is the experience of being a business owner in Japan, especially as a woman?
I worked for a couple the associations, but at the last job, I had a problem with it was a Kyushu University, university, but Japanese society is mostly like you have to have someone's permission.
To do something.
Yeah, to do something. Something needs a lot of process time to be decided. And I was asked to do some events or like some changes and to promote a connection between foreigners and like international students and the local people. So I gave them a couple like ideas, but things did not move at all. And I got so frustrated. I wanted to help the international students, but I couldn't help them in the being hired. So I decided I will never get hired and do on my own. And that way I can have my own business and at the free time I can help the international students. So that was
It works
the
out better
reason.
this
Yeah,
way.
it works
Got
out
you.
better.
You have more freedom,
Freedom, yes.
and you can still help the international
Yes.
students by bringing them to your school sometimes.
Of course,
Okay.
yes.
Like Thierry.
Oh yes.
Ah.
Terry, he doesn't. I don't think he needs help.
Oh, he doesn't
But
care.
there are like international students with their families, so they need support, like
Got you.
entering their kids to local schools.
I see. Okay. So
So-
you do that on? Did you say a volunteer basis right now?
Volunteer basis, yes.
Outside of your school. I see. So what are some problems these families have transitioning into Japanese society?
Mainly, it's the language barrier. Every paperwork is done in Japanese, and that Japanese is really difficult, so they don't understand. The staff, I think they understand English, but they're hesitant to speak or explain in English, so they have a very hard time at ward
Going to the
offices,
university, yeah.
city. Yeah, in university they have English-speaking staff, but in local government,
got you.
in the
Yakuba to ka ne?
yakuba to ka ne,
Ah,
city halls,
yeah.
they have trouble, and they need assistance.
Yeah. So you accompany them.
Yes.
Ah, wow.
But as a mother, I myself.
You're used to
I'm used to that.
helping with smoothing things over.
I hope I am.
Yes.
Yes.
That's nice. Yeah, because especially Itoshima, there's a lot of families coming now, right?
Yes. And I want them to have a very good experience in Japan and take it back to their country.
Oh, and throw trash away at home.
No. でもね,
はい。
yes, having good experience in Japan, that will lead to the future, bond between two countries.
Yeah.
Yes, if they have a bitter feeling about Japan,
They'll take that back home and then it spreads.
yes, it spreads. And I want that
Wow,
because
that's a long-term view.
and I also I really appreciate the people who helped me when I first moved to America. I was very little, but I really felt their friendship and trying to help me out. So I want to do the same thing to the people who come to Japan, yes,
Oh,
and have a good experience.
yeah. That's nice.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, trying to give ongaishi ka. Trying to,
Ongaeshi. Ma ne?
appreciation.
Appreciation,
For-
yes.
and gratitude for-
yes.
got you. That's nice. Yeah. I think I feel that too.
Ah,
Coming to
そうね。
Japan,
Coming
so-
to Japan ね。そうね。
so, yeah. I mean, we spoke about that a little bit, but getting lost, people going 2 hours walking with me, it's crazy. And I can't speak to them. This is in the beginning, but hi. One more question from Daniel. He says, "Do you teach things that children in regular Japanese schools would also learn, or do you add other stuff exclusive to your school?" So, in terms of English teaching, because you also teach in elementary schools.
yes,
So, what is different? What do you do differently here compared to what you do in the elementary schools?
そうね。I do a lot of, I try, no, I force,
本音が出ました。
I try to teach them how to read because in the younger age, in Japan we don't have English. なんていうんだっけ? You're not exposed to English, so the easiest way to learn is to read children's books in English. So I try to teach my young children to start reading on their own so that they can enjoy reading by themselves.
Young, how young?
Kindergarten? Yes.
That's, I mean, they don't do that in normal 保育園とか
No, no, no.
daycare.
Yes,
No,
yes.
なんですか、幼稚園 is
そう
different.
ね。
保育
Reading
園。
starts from junior high school.
Yeah.
うん。
In normal schools.
Yes, in normal schools, but that's like forced to read, and the content is not interesting in the textbook.
Yes. So boring.
So boring, でしょ?
Yes.
So I want my students to learn how to read in the early age, and they can look into my library
Oh,
and
yeah.
pull it out and
Yeah.
ask me to like, can I bring this home?
This is your stock. Oh.
Yes, I want that.
So that builds kind of like a curiosity
Curiosity.
in them that, oh, I want things that they're interested in.
So. If they can choose by their own, they will choose what they're about the topics they're interested in, not something that's already made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also in English books, there are lots of books that does not appear in junior high school textbooks. It's really different. So, yeah, I hope they will grow and like read by themselves.
So 10 years, have you noticed students that maybe you had for a couple of years? Have you noticed how they've been growing compared to just the elementary school students? Like, what are the results of this?
そうね。I think the biggest thing is that they know how to study English on their own, not by the textbook or by doing like workbooks. They enjoy listening to like English songs, or if they want to search for information, they look into English websites, and they know how to study. And I think that's the graduation for me.
Wow.
Like, it's endless learning English.
Lifelong habit.
Yes, so like my graduation, their graduation is like when they learn how to learn how to study by themselves.
Is that something that you kind of break down for them? Like, this is what you're getting. You're getting a lifelong habit. And do they understand the value of that? Or they're just like, oh, like, do they understand what's happening? I mean, they're young.
Yes, I don't say it, I don't tell them,
Sure.
but I hope they are learning, feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, because my students, they just take out the dictionary. Like, I don't tell them to
They just
take.
go and look it up.
They just go and look it up, or they just ask me, "Can I use the tablet and check?"
Wow. So you see the change.
I see the change. Yes, of course. And also, like writing the presentation in school, you have like a template how to start.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is this. I'm going to talk about this.
So,
Yes, but I want them to, it's presentation. So I want them to learn how to
capture attention.
capture more
Yes.
attention, like some methods, like
Yes.
different ways.
No one cares about your name in the
Yeah,
beginning.
no
right?
one cares. You have to catch their attention. So I try them to like, introduce some other ways
Okay.
of getting attention.
Wow. Like TED Talks.
そうね。そうね。
Wow. Thank you,
Yes.
Hiroko-san. Hi. To wrap this up, do you have any questions for tourists, Westerners, English speakers, foreigners, anything that you want to know
Questions.
specifically?
When you come to Japan, what do you want to see in Japan other than like tourist spots?
Hey.
What do you want to do you want to see the daily life or like the countryside in Japan? Yes. Yes, it's now Japan is very popular tourist spot, and for me it's like why. Yes, so I want to know why you want to come to Japan. What is different? What is different from other Asian countries?
Hey, nice. Drop your answers in the comments.
Please.
Hi.
Yes.
Thank you, Hiroko-san. インタビューさせていただいてありがとうございました。
ありがとうございま
Thank
した。
you. Last but not least, how can people find you online?
Oh,
Facebook. If they're searching on
Facebook,
Facebook,
yes.
what is the Chipper English?
Yeah, Chipper English Facebook page. Yes.
Anything
Or
else?
so no, I'm not on public.
Okay.
Yes.
Chipper
Contact.
English. Ah, through
Yeah.
me?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Very nice.
はい。
Thank you guys for watching Raw Japan TV Season 11 with Hiroko Yamaguchi. Yes. Again, if you have any questions, comments for Hiroko-san, please leave a comment and I will pass them on.
Okay. お願いします。
Goodbye.
バイバイ。
Take care. Jajang.
じゃじゃん。
The good thing about this is that it's still recording, so we can capture any moments, anything that slips.
Thank you.
Thank you.